Welcome to the Velvet Room.
So as I said before, I'm probably going to be working on Akihiko.
Looks like it's my turn.
Let's just start because the talking's kind of going to get in the way. I'm recording a bit more Persona 4 Arena because I think I'm kind of stuck in Digital Devil Saga for now. I need to maybe do some grinding and or some sort of, you know...
I'm a long way from home.
Yeah, I need to do some, like, strategizing. Anyways, I'm going to talk a bit more after, but let's get this out of the way first. Ever since I left Japan, I've been constantly searching for places to test my strength. Before I knew it, I'd wound up on the ass end of the globe. As I walk down a dark alley, a dry wind blows. I can see people inside the buildings, but I don't sense any life here. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean that it's anything close to safe, though. Well, just shows that not everywhere in the world is affluent. I sense a hostile presence from somewhere. I glance around and see two thugs smirking at me with narrowed eyes. Our gazes meet and those thugs, a seedy-looking large man and a thin man, stand before me.
Yo, bro, haven't seen your mug around here.
Whoa, what type of accent is that?
Lucky thing we noticed you. Come on, man, spare us some change.
That sounds Mexican or something. Hey, man, listen, I only here to get some change from you, man. You know. I don't know.
We just need a little, man. We'll double it in no time in that gambling den over there.
You're in my way.
Thugs are momentarily stunned by my answer, but their shock quickly dissolves into anger.
And we were being friendly. I should have pulled this on you at the start.
The large man's words produce a fusillade of the spittle as he simultaneously whips out what he believes is his trump card. It's a gun. He waves the muzzle in front of my face in a threatening manner.
Body like that, and you gotta resort to a gun? Pathetic. To begin with, do I really look like I carry that much money on me?
Ain't you Japanese? Most Asians stupid enough to come waltz around here are loaded.
Huh, really? Where is Akihiko anyways? I am actually curious to know which country he's traveled to. And how did he get there?
Come on, give me everything you got, or it's gonna be your brains on the floor.
The large man is quite short-tempered. I wonder if his mood swings are due to a lack of calcium in his diet. I guess you really don't get to choose what you eat when you live in a place like this. The large man apparently realizes that he can simply take my cash when I'm dead, and his fat finger squeezes the trigger before I can reply. A gunshot rings out and sends a shockwave through the alley's dry air.
Son of a bitch!
The large man stands stupefied. He recollects himself and throws a few more rounds my way. Oh, Akihiko.
What kind of hit him?
Are you doing that stupid, oh, I'm so anime that I can dodge a bullet thing? It's because I'm dodging his shots. Oh, yeah, that's bullshit. I'm calling that right now. Even, remember what happened to your buddy? He couldn't dodge it. Oh, okay, no. I mistake. He chose not to dodge it. He chose to take it for Ken. Not the bullets. They obviously move faster than the human body. When a slow man uses a gun, the problem is that he has to point the gun where he wants to send the bullets. And I can see him doing that. Anime logic still. I don't care if you're not dodging the bullets, but you're still gonna have trouble dodging the damn, you know, gun itself. I'll just read his gun's movement and getting out of his line of fire before he shoots. It's that simple. I bet he thinks there's something wrong with the gun or that he's not aiming well. Some people. I think he's the embodiment of the phrase, a big head and a little whip. He never realizes what's happening. I dodge his hail of bullets and quickly close the distance to my attempted murderer. I get a good look at his face contorting in fear and confusion.
Checkmate.
I strike once, burying my fist into his porcine gut. His body lifts off the ground for a brief moment before it collapses to the ground backwards. The massive impact lifts a huge cloud of dust and the man doesn't stir from his place on the ground.
You should be more careful who you pick your fights with.
You bastard!
The thin man pulls something from his pocket. I hear a loud click of a switchblade being unfolded. He drops it to a crouch, coiled, and ready to strike.
At least you know the basics.
The reprobate extends his arm and thrusts the dully shining knife toward me in a telegraphed attack. I again sight his arm and swept the attack angle of the blade out of the way with my right hand and connect with my left hand underneath his jaw. I read too fast. Since he attacks in the most obvious fashion, I repel the attack with the most obvious counter. The uppercut lands flush, and the man is cast into the air as he utters an undignified scream.
I gotta hand it to you for not abandoning your pal.
Sheesh. I didn't come on a jury to waste my time getting into scraps that don't even rate as good as a warm-up. Although, honestly, pretty much all that I had encountered so far in my training was a continuous morass of tedious quarrels. Now, up ahead, huh? I noticed that the dust from the fat man's landing has gotten on my cape, and I brush it off. This is the only mark that I took from the encounter. Bodily injuries will heal over time even if they're left alone, but the same can't be said about one's clothing.
Damn, that was impressive stuff.
Now a bartender. Someone speaks to me out of the blue. I glance over and see a man who looks like a bartender hesitantly emerge from a nearby bar. It seems he was watching the whole thing unfold.
What a fight! And against a man with a gun? Are you a ninja or something?
Nah, that's not important. Where are the police? I'd have thought all the gunfire would catch their attention.
Well, if you're in Mexico, then there's a little thing about the cartels going on. Have you ever seen images of what the cartels do to people? It can be quite gruesome. Actually removing the skin from someone's face off their head and putting their head onto a pike. Yes, I've seen those images. It's quite gruesome. Even worse, I'm not even going to go into a description of. That's the tamest I can come up with, too. The bartender responds to my bewilderment by laughing in an even more dumbfounded manner and shrugs.
Things like that happen all the time. The only authority here is the cartel.
Hey, just like I said, so we're in Mexico, basically. Pretty cool, I guess, but it would be nice if they actually acknowledged it. That's what I want.
Everyone who's not connected dies in poverty. That's been how it works for over 50 years.
I see.
Those who are not connected. Upon hearing that, a bitter feeling wells up inside me. Everything in this world relies on connections, and connections are just another form of power. People say that what's most important cannot be obtained by power, but I figured that means the other 99.9% of everything is simply a matter of power. That includes one's lifespan, and at times, the lifespan of those close to you as well.
Hey, why not stop in for a drink? It's on the house. Seeing what you did made my day.
The bartender's cheerful voice snaps me out of my ruminations.
Are you sure? The cartel you mentioned might not like that.
Hey, I'll get off easy compared to you. All I did was offer you a drink, not beat the hell out of their goons.
Wah wah. A drink, huh?
Do you have the good stuff in stock?
Huh?
It's hard to obtain that certain something around here. I haven't had any for a couple days now. Actually, I'm starting to go into withdrawal.
What is it you're talking about, mister? Listen, I run a clean bar.
Protein. I need a double shot of protein.
Huh? Pro?
Make it quick. It's only half as effective 30 minutes after I've burned some calories.
Sorry, I don't know that brand. Is that some kind of sake?
No. It's alright if you don't have any.
Sheesh, what am I thinking? You never know unless you try. It was pretty stupid of me to expect that a bartender in a dive bar like this would have protein drinks. I shake my head and collect myself. When I finally return to Japan, I'll have all the protein my muscle fibers are crying out for. Sounds great just thinking about it. Mountains of protein. Protein as far as the eye can see. But my daydreams of what a world of infinite protein would be like are interrupted. Are you still carrying a cell phone? I take out my cell phone and see that I've received an email. There are 3 important things on the sub-display. First thing is the icon that tells me that that international roaming service is in effect. Second is the name Kirijo. And the last thing is the word urgent.
Looks like opportunity's knocking sooner than I expected.
I can't hide my smirk. The fact that the message is urgent means that I'm being summoned for a mission.
Fine with me. I haven't found any opponents worth my time here anyway.
Plus, the training journey I'm on was preparation for these missions. It was my way of showing that I would be suited for taking on these special missions professionally. It seems that either my plan is working, or that this is fate telling me that the time to display my results has come. So what's your plan on getting back to
Japan? I can't wait to see what kind of challenge there is in store for me now.
Assuming you're in Mexico right now, we're not talking about an easy way out, are we? I imagine what is what this unknown enemy could be and thrust my left fist proudly towards the foreign winds. I can't keep my body from trembling with excitement, and I plant my fist into my right palm. Several days later, I'm back in Japan. I'm just thinking of a Simpsons joke. Early morning, May 3rd, Japan. That was quick. After a flight that took over half a day, I arrive in Japan. Every time I fly, it always strikes me how cramped the seats are and how boring long flights are. Considering that we're being placed in a hypoxic environment, it's a waste not to equip the seats with tech decks or give us access to some cardio equipment. As I head towards the arrival lobby while thinking about my ideal airline, I hear something I haven't heard in a while. A newscaster reporting in my mother tongue.
Good morning. It's May 3rd, Constitution Memorial Day. Our top story today is an update on the hijacking 2 days ago. 5 men attempted a daring hijacking of a domestic airline, the first such incident in Japan in the 21st century. Police began their official interrogation of the arrested suspects this morning, but all depositions have been vague so far, with suspects complaining of muddled memories. Psychiatric exams are being considered.
That must be the incident she mentioned in her email.
2 days ago in Japan, a jumbo jet bound for Kagoshima was hijacked by a group of 5 men. The hijacking attempt was quickly dealt with because of the hijackers' half-hearted planning, but there was a bigger issue. Unbeknownst to the public, the passenger flight that was hijacked was going to have a very important piece of cargo loaded into it. During the confusion surrounding the hijacking investigation, the cargo seems to have been stolen before it was loaded into the plane. The hijacking was a smokescreen for the real crime. Using a hijacking as a distraction for a simple cargo theft is pretty daring, but it's also desperate and risky. My mission is to retrieve that cargo from whoever wanted it so badly. This isn't a situation that can just be left to ordinary policemen. This cargo is extremely dangerous and the retrieval has to be done discreetly due to its sensitive nature. I look away from the monitor and begin walking again. My cell phone immediately begins ringing as if the caller was watching me the entire time. The name Mitsuru Kirijo appears on the sub-display. Mitsuru Kirijo. She's the one who summoned me here for this mission. I didn't tell her any details about my return flight, but she must have found the information on her own and called after learning of my flight's arrival. She's still as prepared as ever.
It's me.
It's been a long time, Akihiko. I'm sorry to call you back on such short notice.
Don't worry about it. I was at a good stopping point.
Mitsuru has much greater standing in the group than I, but we've been classmates since middle school, and she fought alongside me in my biggest battle. I have a feeling that the only reason we were able to pull through such an ordeal was that we helped each other back then.
So, who's our next enemy?
Don't be so impatient. You received the brief I sent you, right? What I didn't say directly in it is that the stolen cargo was from Ergo Research.
I figured it would be Kirijo Group related, with you having to call me back.
Most ordinary people in Japan would have at least heard of the name Kirijo. The Kirijo Group. A large conglomerate, one of the few within Japan that can boast a large market share overseas. Their influence is ever so present that they touch many aspects of a typical citizen's daily life. Mitsuru is a part of that organization. In fact, she is the only daughter of its founding family. She grew up with untold responsibilities and expectations and has been forced to navigate tumultuous. It's a hard, I know what the word is, but it's a very hard one to say. Social situations ever since she was young. That's why she has a refined personality, maturity beyond her years, and strong leadership skills. Although the same circumstances also expose her to the occasional surprising lapse into naivety.
What was inside this cargo?
The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris.
An anti-shadow weapon? Does that mean...
Yes, she's one of Aegis's sister units.
This time a real one. Let's not forget that.
She was sealed at the time of the robbery, but we think it's very likely that she's been activated by now.
I know I keep bringing it up, but we gotta remember we've already dealt with a so-called sister who turned out to be nothing more than kind of a fake in a way. So remember, we're dealing with a real one this time, not imaginary.
Which means there's a good chance there'll be a fight. Alright. Yeah, this would be too much for the normal authorities. Sounds like it'll be right up my alley.
The man who ran the group 2 generations ago Kuetsu Kirijo. He was the founder of the group and also Mitsuru's grandfather. Around 10 years ago, the certain research that man was performing brought about a huge distortion to this world. The forces that created that distortion were known as shadows. I guess the best way I could describe them would be to say that they are monsters incarnated of the darkness in people's hearts. In any case, there's something completely absurd like that. Kuetsu Kirijo doing ergo research in what would later be known as the infamous Kirijo Ergonomics Lab to repeatedly perform inhumane experiments. He was artificially drawing out shadows in an attempt to gain powers beyond what mortal man should have. But the experiment failed during the final stages. What remained after a big explosion were over 50 casualties and a distortion in the world that can never be repaired. Normal people are completely unable to sense this distortion at all, and yet the same distortion could cause the entire world to collapse. 3 years ago, Tsuru and I, along with our friends, devoted ourselves to a fight in order to end that threat of that collapse. The bonds and precious memories I gained from them are engraved upon my heart and haven't faded to this day.
Fighting is not our first option, but I'd be more reassured with you there. We have a general idea of where it was taken, the Inaba area, where there were reports of suspected shadow activity last year.
Okay, I'll meet up with you at the actual location.
Are you heading directly there? You never change. Let me know if you need anything and I'll make the arrangements.
Protein, that's all.
What? No, it's better I don't ask. I'll send you the precise location later. Sorry to call when you've just returned from a trip, but I'm relying on your assistance.
You went to a lot of trouble to create the Shadow Operatives. I won't do anything to tarnish the name. I'll see you there.
The Shadow Operatives. That's the organization I'm a part of. We're a joint task force comprised of the Creature Group and the police. Officially, we do not exist. Our main mission is to deal with shadow-related cases that the police are incapable of handling. And our objective is to prevent or minimize the collateral damage caused by shadows. Shadows can only be defeated by persona users. Mitsuru, myself, and many of the members belonging to the Shadow Operative have personas and knowledge about them. Mitsuru's fully dedicating herself to prevent Kirijo's tainted legacy from falling into the wrong hands. That is her. No, it is the shared duty of all of us in the group. I noticed that I've unconsciously formed my hand into a fist. I have an email from Mitsuru giving me the details on the meeting location. As usual, she's thoroughly planned this out.
Inaba, huh?
A smile appears on my face. An opportunity to use all the skills and strength I've been honing. I will commit every fiber of my being to fulfill the duty I've been given. I couldn't ask for more. Bookmark. First one. Wait. Let's get rid of Yosuke's. I'm gonna start getting rid of them in the oldest ones. Because I'm running out of room anyway. So now that we have a bookmark, does that mean we're gonna get to the fight sooner than some of the others? The same day afternoon. I arrive in Inaba earlier than I'd planned. There's a lot of time to kill before I need to be at the meeting. In order to get the feel for the town and what's going on, I decide to walk around a bit. From the looks of it, it's an ordinary countryside town. I can't believe that people think a level 4 shadow-related case occurred here last year. As far as I can tell, there doesn't seem to be any disturbances going on right now. It looks like that unit named Labyrinth isn't running amok here either. As soon as I stray from the main street a bit, it's mountains and fields as far as the eye can see. The air is clean and traffic is pretty light, so the town has that going for it. This would be a great place to go running early in the morning. When I think about it, don't Chie and Akihiko have very similar goals? I mean, I think Akihiko wants to become a policeman, in a way, and they also like, you know, running and exercise and stuff. Hey, they'd be a great match, ironically, unless they're too similar. I wait for everything to for evening to come while exploring as much of the town as I can.
It's almost time.
My cape flutters in the wind as I shadow box and jog to the meeting area, an intersection on the outskirts of what this town would call its shopping district. Meeting up in a rural area like this is a bit of a tricky situation. Since the Shadow Operatives do not officially exist, we need to draw as little attention to our mission as possible. Hopefully we can quickly join up and be on our way so that the residents don't take notice of a bunch of outsiders assembling in their sleepy town. Unfortunately, when I arrive at the meeting point, Mitsuru and the others are nowhere to be seen.
Did something happen? I doubt she'd run into any trouble she couldn't handle, though.
Could it be that I'm at the wrong place? There aren't any tall buildings to block my view, so I look in every direction. The only thing outside the shopping district obstructing my view is mountain of garbage that looks like it might be a scrap heap or a junkyard. I may as well be diligent and head over there just to make sure. So, an illegal dump. I enter the area and it's full of all kinds of junk. Cars and household appliances, large and small, are piled into small artificial mountains. I test my footing and begin climbing up the stacked trash. Looking down, I spot a long black limousine that is completely out of place in this tiny town. I come to a realization and sigh.
Of course. They'd stand out no matter where they were, so they could only park here.
Two of my friends are standing by the limousine. A woman cloaked, decked out in a fur coat, and a mechanical girl. It's Mitsuru and Agus. Right before I call out to them, Agus does something bizarre. She extends her right arm towards the TV screen in front of her and... Agus's hand is passing through the screen. Her steel fingers aren't just breaking the TV screen. They're definitely going inside. Concentric rings of white light are rippling forth from where she inserted her hand.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
I don't understand how or why, but it seems that people can enter that TV. If that's the case, it would be the perfect place to hide stolen cargo. That makes things easier.
Huh. Sounds like fun.
The two of them look up surprised.
Is that Akihiko?
I leap off of the mountain of trash and land in front of them.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
I take a glance at Mitsuru and I can tell that she's summoning up her coldest stare. This clothing allows me to have much better mobility. I don't think Mitsuru is going to listen to my explanation.
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Glancing at Mitsuru's clothing once again, I couldn't help but sigh. Since Agus had already voiced what I wanted to say, I decided not to make a comeback. Mitsuru simply shakes her head and sighs back at me. Seriously, this is what happens when you grow up in a wealthy family, sheltered from the lives that normal people live.
Anyway...
I slam my left fist to my right palm. Agus's sister unit, Lavris. She's apparently inside a TV sitting in an obscure part of a countryside town. I gotta wonder, what else will be waiting for us inside?
We can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Lavris back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Mitsuru's at a loss for words. I know that I'm voicing my opinion more forcefully than she's used to, but it's what I have to do. I know Mitsuru well enough to know when she needs someone to prod her into action. Wanting to exert control over every situation is a commendable trait, but in certain situations, waiting doesn't allow you to seize any more control, and it also gives your opponent more time to prepare.
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
I lock eyes with Mitsuru and take a step towards her.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
3 years ago, I had said that it was my duty to help in the fight. But looking back on it now, I know that a lot of it was just for kicks. Seeing myself definitely become much stronger and experiencing all that personal growth was incredible. Becoming stronger felt like it would satisfy some deep desire within me. And if I died giving my all against a really powerful opponent, I didn't really mind the thought of going out like that either. I was honestly fighting for myself more than anything else. But now, something has changed in me. I wandered around the world with something in the back of my mind constantly nagging at me. Something about not having a grasp of some part of myself. I know that I want power. The power to protect others. But that feeling has always been there. There's still something else, though. Something different. A few seconds of silence pass, then Mitsuru's eyes narrow. Her eyes are filled with a steely determination.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Mitsuru heads towards the long limousine with a wry smile. I turn my gaze towards the most prominent of the illegally dumped TVs. As I reach out towards the screen, my fingers sink into it the exact same way Agus's did.
My fists are ready for action.
Excitement wells up within me as a reaction to the new sensation I feel from my fingertips. Yeah, we're gonna get that cutscene again.
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens.
Oh, we can skip this. Alright, bookmark here. And I guess I'll at least have a chance to fight. That's nice. But who will Akihiko's opponents be? Can't be much of the Persona 4 crew. It could be possibly the Persona 3 crew, but that wouldn't actually make sense in a way because we're not supposed to be part of the tournament. Well, they're not. When I open my eyes again, the first thing I can see is a high ceiling. I get to my feet and look around. Basketball hoops, the ground lined with white tape, and folding chairs stacked high into the air.
Is this a gym?
What I'm seeing now isn't matching what I expected to be seeing. If my memory is correct, I entered the TV with Mitsuru and Agus. Is this what's inside of the TV? Well, it's different from person to person, in a way. It hits me. This isn't reality. Everything looks extremely real, but I sense odd presences nearby. I brace myself inside this oddly quiet gym. If I'm the only one here, I must be cautious. Alone? I suddenly realize that Mitsuru and Agus should be here too. They came into the TV with me, but they're nowhere to be seen. Did we get separated from each other as we were falling in? No. It's more likely that we were separated intentionally. Well, I don't really need to worry about them. I'm pretty sure that they'll be able to handle anything in here on their own. Even if something does attack them, those two will just counterattack with icicle executions and machine guns.
This feeling in the air reminds me of somewhere, though.
Tartarus! Because it's exactly like Tartarus. I felt this harsh atmosphere before. I dig through my memories. That's right. This is what Tartarus felt like. The tower full of shadows where we did battle 3 years ago. Since this area is unfamiliar, and I'm assuming hostile, there's no knowing when an enemy may attack. But waiting around to get ambushed isn't really my thing. It's time for me to get moving. Just as I think that... First is Teddie. What in the world is that? A bizarre object approaches me from further inside the gym. It's red, blue, and round. On top of that, it's walking on 2 feet. I've wandered all across the globe to different regions, but I've never seen a bizarre creature like this.
Huh? There's a weird guy in a cape.
Weirder still, it's able to communicate with me.
You think you've got the right to call me weird? You seem suspicious.
How rude! I'll say the same back to you. Being half naked and wearing a cape is totally suspicious. Could this be the pervert I've heard rumors about? My innocence is in danger.
You're making no sense at all. Who are you? Oh, don't tell me. Are you a shadow?
The music seems really loud.
Huh? I'm Teddie. Teddie!
So you are a shadow.
I just said I'm Teddie. Teddie! It's easy.
No bear has fur that color. Or can talk.
How cruel! I'm an adorable, sexy beast, no matter what angle you're looking from.
Teddie? Teddie? Does that mean he's like a bear or something? Suddenly a monitor nearby springs to life. What appeared on it was also red, blue, and round. It's another bear thing, or to be exact, it was also a Teddie.
I can't have you wandering about on your own. You're such a troublesome bear. You're the troublesome one! How dare you do whatever you want while looking like me? It's a violation of my image rights!
Teddie image rights patent pending.
What's going on? Are you twins or something?
Huh? I've discovered an unknown half-naked caped man! An intruder! Unexpected!
Sadly, the sound and image on the monitor get corrupted. Just when I thought I was going to start figuring some things out about this place and those creatures. The screen flickers and dies out. Is this some kind of ruse? The monitor pops back on. Once again, it was Teddie's... Ugh, this is too confusing. I'm just going to refer to the TV bear as Bear Number 2. People in a lot of overseas cultures add suffixes to the second or the great onto their kids' names. So I figure I'll go with something similar. I'm in some crazy TV world, so I'm just going to assume that these guys are Japanese. Like, Bear Number 2 is going to care anyway. I've wasted enough time rationalizing this. Bear Number 2's eyes gleam in a sinister manner. He starts speaking clearly now.
Case 04. Unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Sounds like the robot portion of Labrys. Elimination, huh? I don't really have any clue as to what's going on yet, but I do know that Bear Number 2 has just won the right to be the first one here to taste my fists.
I don't know exactly what's going on, but I've seen enough. Looks like you're the enemy here, Bear Number 2.
I'm not sure how much stock I should put in common sense while I'm in this TV world. But if he's using a PA system, I'm guessing that there needs to be some kind of control booth for it. Since I'm in some kind of school, that means I'm probably going to find Bear Number 2 in the announcement room. Labrys is inside here, and if Bear Number 2 is running this whole event, he's got to have some kind of information about her. I turn to Teddie.
As for you, Teddie, he seems to be your enemy too. But why don't you step down and let me handle it?
I proceed to walk off in search of the announcement room, but...
No way!
What?
I mean, who are you? You haven't even told me your name. And that bear might be a bad guy who tricked my beloved sensei and friends. I can't leave this in the hands of a half-naked cape man like you.
Teddie looks surprisingly resolute as he refuses my offer. Does he have friends of his own that he's trying to desperately protect too?
Well, your costume is strange. I do like that fire in your eyes.
What's that supposed to mean? It sounds perverted coming from a half-naked cape guy.
Hey, I have a name. It's Akihiko Sanada. You don't have to call me half-naked cape guy. And I know I can't prove I'm on your side just by saying so.
So I'll beat you up.
So judge for yourself whether I'm worthy of your trust. In the ring.
Basically.
You're that excited to do this?
Fists don't lie, you know? Now come on, and I'll give you everything I got.
I put my fist out in front of me and focus. If one does not face their cowardice, they cannot summon a persona. That's why persona users used to have to undergo the trial of holding an evoker in their heads. To their heads. Huh. So now I just realized they don't need their evokers anymore, apparently. But that was simply a ritual to overcome one's psychological blocks. It isn't a required step in handling personas. My resolution has always been within me after all.
Come, Persona!
I sense power rising from deep within me. Yeah, it's true. They haven't been shooting themselves in the head like they used to. Interesting. I did not realize that until now. And no one pointed it out to me, so I'm assuming it's a very minor thing that people don't really notice until they hear from Akihiko. I mean, it's not that you can see them anyways. They could have been, but you don't hear the gunshot, but whatever. Let's just see how Akihiko handles. He's a fist fighter for sure.
Finally.
Alright then. Yeah, whoa. Man, that was weird. Strange she has an all-out considering that, you know, they didn't have... Well, I didn't have all-outs. What am I saying? I'm an idiot. Well, so far you are losing. Let's see here. Ah, oh, he's hurting me. Ah. There we go. KO'd him pretty easily here. He's not a bad fighter, I guess. Alright then. That was actually pretty simple. We're already at scene 4, despite only one battle.
The intruder is a persona user. Difficulties in elimination. Acknowledging as valid target.
Bear number 2 is murdering something on the other side of the monitor after watching our bout. It seems that I've been officially promoted to the rank of valid target.
Persona user? You talking about me? What do you mean by valid target?
Irregularity has occurred. Multiple intruders detected. Emergency. Emergency. Oh, I know! I've just had a fun idea!
Just as bear number 2 starts speaking like a normal person, the monitor suddenly cuts out. Seriously, who is this guy? One thing's for sure, and that is that I need information right now. I lean over at Teddie's flattened body and lightly tap the back of his head.
Hey, Teddie, wake up.
No! Kanji! You're crushing me to death!
What's going through this guy's head?
Teddie, wake up!
I smacked Teddie a little more forcefully this time. I was worried that it might make him even flatter, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. Looks like that did the trick. Teddie gets up using whatever weird stomach muscles he has and yells at me while still in a flattened state.
Hey! If you hit me so hard, you'll ruin my beautiful coat of fur! I'll go bald! And it's just Teddie, not Teddie!
This is getting to be a pain. Teddie purses his lips and looks away with a huff. I wanted to demonstrate my sincerity with my fist. There's no doubt that I did that. Then again, considering how badly flattened he is right now, I guess it's understandable that he doesn't want to talk to me.
Well, maybe I went a little too far. Let me at least talk to you. I have important business here too. I need as much information as I can get.
Aren't you going to say sorry?
Don't push your luck, or I'll pull out all your fur.
I was just joking! Well, I am a knowledgeable bear, so I'll make an exception for you and listen.
Hey, I'm the one who won. Where does he get off with this attitude? It doesn't feel right letting that slide, but I don't want him getting all pouty again. I take a deep breath and turn to face Teddie once more.
First off, what kind of world is this?
Yes, it's the TV world.
Well, at least I was right about that. Teddie then went on to explain that there is a mysterious TV program called The Midnight Show that only appears at midnight. That TV broadcast is caused by this world inside the TV. It seems that Teddie is back to his original appearance, or rather, his original thickness. He's like a big stress ball.
That's hard to believe. But even if that's true, why does it look like this? Is this supposed to be a school or something?
This is probably the school that Yosuke and the others go to.
It's a real place?
This world changes whenever someone comes here. I'm not sure why it's a school now, though.
It changes when people come here.
I used to live here for a long time, so I saw it happen a lot.
You lived here? Well, does that mean you're from this world? What are you?
Teddie starts climbing up all of a sudden. He started getting nervous when I blurted out the realization that he was living in this world and that he wasn't human. Embarrassed about being different from humans, huh? He definitely doesn't look human, but it's easy enough to overlook because he's able to easily carry on a conversation with me. And his fist definitely had a heart. I guess immediately springs to mind. She's a machine, but she also has the same heart as a person. Though this Teddie creature may be some kind of costume creature, he must have a heart as well. That being said, he does look pretty stupid.
There's so much I don't understand. But I can at least say I'm pretty sure you're no threat.
Of course not. I'd never cause anyone any trouble.
If you know this world so well, does the name 5th Generation Blabberus sound familiar?
I've never heard of it. Every day's great at Junette's. I usually spend my time there. But when I came to, I was locked up here.
Oh no, my battery's getting low. I don't have my wire close by. Everyone go into a panic. Panic, everyone, panic! I'll go get it, even though I'm not going to record for that much longer. Only like 12 minutes or something. I think I may have accidentally hit the dialogue when I was trying to plug it in. And that was hard to plug into the PS3, the USB, for some reason.
Only to find that an imposter Teddie was causing a bunch of trouble with his P1 Grand Prix.
He was bummed out a minute ago, and now his face is bright red and there's steam pouring out of his head. This guy is a real piece of work.
That guy who showed up on screen looked exactly like you.
He calls himself a general. But don't confuse me for that phony. The real Teddie is made of all natural bear fur.
If that was someone in disguise, there must be a reason he's trying to look like you.
Ooh, I know. It must be because he's jealous that Sensei and everyone love me the most. But he's not 1/1,000,000th as cute as me. Anyone can tell he's a fake.
Yeah, it's totally obvious. I recall what Teddie said about the Midnight Channel earlier. Some of the things that happen in this world are broadcast to the outside world. If that's the case, then misinformation may be spread and people could be confused or misled. At this moment, I'm not sure why someone would be intentionally causing such confusion. But this Teddie guy mentioned that his friends were here. If bear number 2 is in opposition to them, then it's not too big of a stretch to imagine that he's trying to upset their friendships.
Alright, one last question. You said you used to live here. Do you know how to get out?
Of course! That was one of my specialties. I always helped other people when they needed to leave. But it's not working here for some reason. I'm losing my confidence. This is one bear of a Tedache. Ooh, that was an advanced joke.
This is no laughing matter. You won't be able to get out like this.
That wasn't advanced at all. Sheesh. He did give me valuable information, though. I now have somewhat of a grasp of the situation. My main objectives are retrieving Labrys and escaping from this world. I won't be able to accomplish either of these things as it stands. And all we can really do on our own is speculate. So bear number 2, General was it? I'll have to pound some more detailed answers out of him. All I need to do is keep moving forward. And if I'm going to move forward, I don't see the harm in doing it quickly.
That's it. You're coming with me.
I'm assuming that I'm probably going to need this guy's help in getting out of here later, so I grab the back of Teddie's head and sprint forward. But just as I'm about to exit the gym, Teddie gets completely stuck on something.
You're gonna tear it off!
I look behind me and Teddie is wildly flailing his arms around, but I don't see anything holding him back. What kind of trick is this?
Hey! You almost made me lose my head!
Ignoring the huge fuss Teddie's making, I reach over towards where Teddie is stuck, but I don't feel anything. Guess I'll just have to try again. I pull the back of Teddie's head towards me with my full strength. He's definitely stuck on something. For a moment, it looked like the zipper on Teddie's neck warped. Whatever, it's probably just my imagination.
Huh? Looks like there's a wall that I can get through, but you can't. What a bizarre place this is.
Says the half-naked cape guy who pulled at my head so hard it almost came off!
Oh well, I'll have to leave you here. Make sure you don't go anywhere alone, you hear me?
I can't burn any more time here. As I turn my back towards Teddie to proceed on, his yell echoes inside the gym.
I won't let you abandon me! I get lonely real fast! I'm coming with you!
An enormous crash reverberates throughout the area. When I turn around, I see a flattened Teddie fluttering to the ground like a sheet of paper falling off a desk. He must have gotten a running start and slammed right into whatever is there at full force. Did he just run straight into an invisible wall head first without even thinking about how much that would hurt? Huh? This guy said that the general was an enemy of his friends. And because his friends are at risk, he can't just leave everything to me. His lack of regard for personal safety may be because he's so worried about his friends. He behaves oddly, but once you look past that, I can totally empathize with him.
Sorry. I'll come back for you when all this is settled.
Just hang tight, Teddie. I know it's a tough situation. I hurried to where the enemy is, for my mission and for the sake of Teddie and his friends. Are you going to meet any of his friends? Or are you just going to fight Mitsuru and Agus somewhere and get tricked like everyone else? When I step outside the gym, I hear a cheer from somewhere. The voices seem to be coming from outside the school building. Did a large number of people come into this world? This place is supposed to be a world inside a TV, but this kind of seems like a real school. It feels like an event, like a cultural festival or field days taking place. There's still so much about this place I don't know. There were so many parts of Teddie's explanation that I couldn't grasp. I need first-hand knowledge. I need to see some things with my own eyes. I step out to what looks like a school's main gate and check the nameplate.
Yasagami High School. I remember seeing that name in the report on Inaba.
So what Teddie told me about this place being scenery made to look like an actual high school is correct. But why recreate a high school building inside a TV? As I'm taking stock of my surrounding, a high-pitched girl's voice emanates from a nearby speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, what will the next match be like?
So Akihiko, do you know about Rosette? There's like a secret fan or something? An abrupt and confusing school announcement. Cheers arise from somewhere, seemingly in response to the announcement. I sense the presence of others, and when I look around, I know silhouettes of students that seem to be watching from all angles. Are they human? They look like they're human, but I don't sense any life from them. No matter where in the world I went, people who were excited about a battle had a certain spark to them. These guys don't have it.
Wow, this is one fired up crowd. Hi everyone, I, Rosette, will be your commentator. But first, the General would like to say a few words. The mic's all yours, sir.
As if answering the commotion, the monitor setup is in the center turns on. That Gerald Teddie appears on the screen.
Well then, I'm proud to announce the opening.
Yeah, very own.
Oh, so you've come this far. I applaud your bravery in not running away.
I just want to kind of see who his next match is going to be. That's why I kind of skipped the repeated dialogue.
Still hiding behind a monitor? It's about time you showed up in person. I'll crush you.
Nope, sorry, but I'm not falling for a cheap ploy like that. You better follow the rules. Allow me to explain. The P1 Grand Prix is a one-on-one battle. Those who are paired off must fight. Only the winner may move on.
Only the winner may move on. That invisible wall that Teddie ran into with his face must be part of the contest this guy set up.
Huh. Interesting. Who are you gonna make me fight?
A bizarre laugh plays, and the image on the screen switches. What showed up next seemed like an odd commercial for a P1 Grand Prix. If someone produced a field like this for the event, does that mean everyone here is a willing participant? From the looks of it, they seem like ordinary students. I just don't think everyday students like this would be involved in the hijacking of an airplane and the stealing of Labris, but...
Huh? Who are they?
I don't have to answer that.
Sorry, but I don't have time to play along. I'm taking back Labris.
You are?
Gerald on the screen looks shocked by my words. He'd been evasive or just laughed at anything I said until now, but this obviously struck a nerve.
Don't think everything's gonna be that easy for you. You all should suffer, and then suffer some more!
I'm not exactly sure what specifically antagonized him, but it seems like he definitely knows something about Labris. You think you can make me suffer, huh? Well, bring it on. I flourish my cape and head into the school building.
It won't be easy, huh?
I think about what the Gerald said a moment ago. Honestly, I can't really think of too many times in my life when things went easily. Growing up as an orphan, my memories of losing what was precious to me, I've never gotten too burdened by it, but I've constantly been pitied by others for my misfortunes.
Whatever. I never expected it to be.
Pain of loss is my source of determination. I must stay strong in order to protect those who are precious and by my side right now. But I want to see who the next battle is going to be. I proceed through the school building, and after climbing a number of stairs, I notice something odd. This place is bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. The hallways don't turn in the direction you'd expect after seeing the outside of the building, and the way the classrooms connect with each other is bizarre as well.
This is what I'd figure another world would be like.
I reach towards an upcoming corner, and I come in contact with an invisible wall. I see. So this is what prevented Teddie from following me. I couldn't have done much earlier, but now that I can actually touch it, I pull all my strength into that strike, but the wall barely gave at all. If it shakes, that means it's taken some damage. If I keep attacking it, I may be able to break through a portion of it and punch my way out. But I really don't know how much of this whole charade I can break through by destroying these walls. It wouldn't be a smart way of expending my energy. That's when something catches my eye, a window. When I reach towards it, the invisible wall doesn't impede my progress.
I knew it. Whoever set this up only thought about blocking people's paths. Anywhere there already was a real wall got overlooked.
I'm not obligated to play by the enemy's gimmicks. If they want me to go one way, maybe I can gain an advantage by taking a route that they don't expect.
Then I'll just go another way.
I put my hand on the window's frame and jump outside. Oh, another bookmark here, apparently. Oh, man. Well, I wanted to see the next match, but it doesn't look like I'll be getting to that right now, because I don't want to record too much more. I was kind of tired before recording. I actually slept for a bit, and when I woke up, I was so dazed and confused, I didn't know what was going on. I am so tired, and it's only Tuesday, and I still have to go back to work. Well, that's enough about my pathetic life. Next time, I'm going to continue with Akihiko for sure, obviously, and I want to see who's going to face next. I mean, will he face Mitsuru and Agus, or will he face some of the Persona 4 crew? That's an interesting question, and see you next time.